All right, let's get started. Change over to our Space Engineers scene. So last time we painted our ship. I don't like the blue is not as distinct as I would like it to be. So I think what we're gonna do. Oops, I blew through the. That's why we shouldn't do that while we're in space. But as I was saying, I think this blue here, I think it needs to be a little lighter. I guess I could have done that. I could do that with saturation, maybe. Not like a lot lighter, but it's too close to the dark value. We take it like maybe 20. See what that looks like. Gotta change the skin. Be used clean. Just take a second to do this. And then we're gonna do our normal. We'll hit up the missions that we have. Through those real quick. And then we're probably going to get some ice. We'll start setting up the hotkeys. We will set up the hotkeys for the ship. Second. Like the true adult that I am, I had my vitamin gummies, and they kind of sometimes give me a little phlegm in my throat. As I was saying, we'll set up the hotkeys to control the ship, kind of get that stuff ready, and then we're going to try to take off. Although we may need to build one more thing on the ship before we get to space, just to make it a little easier on ourselves. But let's see here in just a second. I think those should be the lighter blue. We have a mod for a radio spectrometer, which we'll set up on the top of the ship. Well, it could be on the bottom, but we'll set up on the ship somewhere. That'll allow us to look at asteroids that are kind of far away and see what material they have on them, what minerals they have on them, sorry. If not, it can be very difficult exploring space and trying to find specific materials. We're looking for whatever. We're gonna look for iron. That's gonna be our first kind of thing we want. And as we look for iron, we have to just visually do that, or we have to go out and try to do it with our hand drill for detection. It just becomes very, very difficult. We don't want to do that. So this is a neat little mod that we will take advantage of. All right. Everything else was the dark color, so I think we're good now. I think that's going to do what I want. Really, like I said, I just wanted to kind of change those colors up a little bit. So let's come over here. I said first we were going to permission, but first we're going to check for ice. Because yeah, we don't have a bunch. What we want to do, we'll make sure we have plenty of ice, get it processing, because we have a lot of hydrogen tanks. The more hydrogen tanks we can fill up, the better. So let's take the drill base. That's that rotor. Yep. Let's put it right there. Work. That one. There we go. Let's see. Drill. Beds. Those guys on. We want the up pistons. We actually just want one of the up pistons, probably. Let's just grab one of them. That one. And reverse its speed. And we'll see how far that gets us. Let's go grab the summon signal. A little far away, but we'll make it. Probably should have refilled our hydrogen before we did this, but that's all right. Off my forehead at the camera. A little low in frame. I'm not sure if I'm sitting lower. I think I moved the camera down a little bit. I need to either raise that or sit up a little bit to feel weird as just a floating head. But that's a little better. Oh, build that back up. Forgot to get her. Yeah, that's not much. And I guess technically it would have been alright if we would have ground that down. It should have just dropped it on the ground and we could have picked it up. But alright, we'll do it this way. Just let's fill up our hydrogen tanks. And let's drop all this stuff off. And we can drop our paint gun and paint off. We're done painting for the moment. We still haven't reached our ice yet. Hopefully that wasn't a weird sound. Like I got a rogue nose hair going on, making my nose itch. All right. Let's look at 173 gold. In the refinery. 173 gold. Okay. And then 3 or 4 displays. Displays 304. 102 girders. Girders. And 273 silicone. We probably don't have any silicone ore. Going. Let's go over our. Let's go over here and we'll grab a handful of the silicone. Was this nickel? The lights weren't coming on. This is magnesium. Okay. Where did the silicon maybe? Yeah. How much we got? 2K. That's more than enough. And right when we want to leave, we get blizzard-like conditions. Perfect. These also need to be on. Because we want to start processing all this ice that we're going to be getting. Hopefully we get that little, although we're not going to get that. We may have to clean that up a little bit. Okay. Well, luckily we don't need to see where to fly. We can fly by instrument. What we're going to do here. Nice and high. We're going to watch our altitude. Play
perform so many tasks. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask. If anyone tries to ruin your day, give me a turret. I can make them go away. There are lots of pirates in space. I will guard you. You will be safe. I can fly your spaceships too. 1, 2, 3, let's land on the moon.
Yep, so far that is my favorite space engineer sound that I've found. Need to look through some more of them though, because there's got to be another one that's equally ridiculous. Let's get landed. Yeah. And kick the battery back on. Ooh, that's the good angle. Let's raid the base. See what we can match for ourselves. Ooh, good pistol. So far, that's a pretty good haul. Even just those items. Oh, I don't want to lay in the bed and look at the bed. Some money. It wasn't too bad. Alright, let's finish out our contracts. Ship. Alright, what else do we have? Explosives, interior plate, nickel, character components. Keep forgetting to check to see what those need. I think just silver. So the question is, do we want to go ahead and do another one of these? I actually think I think I'm gonna wait. I don't think I will because I really want to get into space today. So I don't want to be tied down to coming back and finish these contracts. I'm not even gonna worry about buying those data pads because the last 2 times we bought them, they were all duplicates that we already had. So, all right, let's get back home. And then we can start working on all the other stuff. That needs done. We'll also have to load up the ship with some basic materials. And hopefully we did all the math right and we have enough thrusters to actually get our ship off the ground. We will keep the landing gear in place just in case. But I think we have enough thrusters. I think I only needed 3, and we have 4, if I recall. We can also add some small thrusters to kind of help if we're just kind of making it. And we could always put another large thruster on that we take off once we get in space. It wouldn't really matter kind of where it was at or how it looked. It could just kind of be there as a booster, basically. Okay. It was a little harder than I. Okay. So land our ship. How are our drills doing? They have reached their limit. Still got a bunch of ice to get. So come in here. Drill, piston, up. And let's set this at a minimum distance of 5. That looks probably closer to 3 meters. So if we get a little bit of extra, that's fine. Also could do right here. Let's mine this by hand. How far that gets us.
Inventory full.
And we can just throw all of this in there. That silicon that we had in our pockets will get refined. Stone that we're grabbing will get refined. Hopefully we end up with a fair bit of ice out of that. So, check on missions we did. Got for the pirate base. We didn't see anything. We flew back and forth. We're good. OSHA review. Well, we haven't really built much here. We built a whole ship. Pretty sure this whole welder wall is not real OSHA compliant. It's actually fairly dangerous. One thing we could do though, clean this up. Unnecessary now. This was all just measurements so we knew how long to make the welding arms. We don't need to have that there. Oh, get rid of that. We could also build this better so that it actually works for us. Could be interesting. That block doesn't need to be all the way built up. Okay. And so if we do This. Yeah, that'll work. We'll actually leave that open though so we can get to it. Got a nice easy ramp. And go with a catwalk. Material for that. I hope that doesn't make. Hope this doesn't cause a problem because that might be too close. I don't think it's connected though, so that's fine. We'll see. We have a little. If we were being truly OSHA compliant, we should have rails all the way up here. But we're not going to be fully OSHA compliant. Anything else that we want to do any more ore runs? Getting ice right now. Set up the controls. Drills are doing. So they gotten all the ice they're going to get from that plunge. So let's. Reverse of that. No. That one's the one. Reverse that one. Let's reverse that one. Turn the drill heads off. Our rotor. Lock it. Like that. So let's go set up some hot heat. And we should do this the correct way. Just to get in the habit. All right. So let's go with I guess we could also build I don't think we really want to build the like the takeoff and the landing timer blocks like we do on our smaller ships. This one's going to kind of just always be running, so I don't think that's necessary. But what we can do is grab our connectors and actually want this way connectors. Rear connector. Lock, connector, switch lock, I lied. Piston, reverse, let's put the camera here. Reverse that piston, camera. So that should have been front, not rear. Push lock, front, switch lock. Okay. Now we're going to use, I think, these two buttons for right now, purely for our thrusters. It's our thrusters up. And this is going to be decrease override. This will be increase override. And we need another group that we forgot about of our thrusters down. SW thrusters down. So these guys in a group called SW thrusters down. So we can disable those, turn them on and off. Because as we're ascending, we don't want them pushing back on us at all. We want them to be off, and we'll turn them on once we get all the way into space. Push down. Okay, toggle on off. All right. Now we may just see here. Might be better to have their own hotbar actually. Increase, on off. Change this. SW. And oh, we never grouped those either. Let's do that. Because we're going to need to unlock those. And you know what we should also get? Piston. Let's just call this, let's call both of these the landing piston. Let's group these two together. Okay. Now we come here. Our SW landing gear. Switch lock. SW ending. Do not group those? Heck. W. Apparently didn't hit save. Nope. So let's grab those guys. SW land systems. Just reverse them. Anything else that we, this is basically our landing hotbar. We may have to that a little bit, but that's okay. Because we may want some other stuff on there. Let's go ahead and jump to our on it. But oh, won't let me. Why is it not letting me do the thing that I want? There we go. Because I was hitting the wrong buttons. So let's do our cameras on here. Front and rear. Anything else we want to be able to control? Oh, I need to rename those apparently. We probably want to grab our tanks, lump them together so that they can be on actually rename that to just 2 hydrogen tanks. Okay. Same with our oxygen tanks here. Save. Went through is to always refill bottles. Same with these. Let's make our hydrogen tanks, and let's do stockpile on off. Oxygen tanks, stockpile on off. Back SW, what else might we want to mess with? We were lighting and that kind of stuff, but it's not a big deal. We don't really want to turn off our med bay. Oh, we need to set our lights. Okay, let's doors take care of themselves. We could do our batteries here. Recharge on off. In case we do end up docking with a base and we want to recharge them and not use our battery power. But let's not hit that button. Let's check our lights here. So SW. We got 4 panels. This on the other side. This probably is 2. There we go. So left is port. Port is red. This is the SW. Call it light panel port. And this will also be light panel port. It will be red. Which means these are light panel wood. They are green. And I'm actually not going to worry about setting any of the other settings on these like we did in our little ships because these are so big that it will not matter. Someone's buzzing at me. Okay. Hopefully that will help us if we ever kind of lose track of the ship a little bit of light might help. honestly, I think that will get us into space, get us started. Oh, then what we said is we want to build our radio. Whatever, yeah, little radio record. So I've done this a couple different ways before. Trying to think how I want to do it. I think we're going to start with we need piston, we'll need a hinge, we'll need a rotor. Need camera. We could just use one of the custom controllers that are inside the base, but I like using kind of build it all into one unit. I think it looks neater that way. And we're gonna need transparent LCD. Let's grab some blocks. Actually, we should grab them all from here. Technically. We want a small grid. And small grid hinge. Actually, no, we need a normal size hinge. Maybe. Doesn't matter. Order that. Camera, that. Those. Okay. Now we just gotta figure out where we want to build this. Could build it right on top, but I don't like that. I think we're gonna build it maybe right here. Since we're gonna build it right here, a lot of times I use I'll use the rotor as my base, but I think we're going to use the hinge as the base this time. Now, rotor would probably look better. The small head on the hinge looks really weird. It just kind of floats, but small head on the rotor doesn't look as awkward, I guess. Now the question is, where do we want to put this? We want it to be fairly unobstructed. We put it right at the very back. That looks a little weird. Put it right there. Let's try it right here. Small head. Okay. Then we're going to put the hinge right on that. Dry scratch my eye. Small hinge. Then let's put piston. Hang on. Oh, that's going to be. Let's use the square piston. because we can. It's newer. But I thought I grabbed everything for that. Now I actually need. I do need a block. Okay, so let's do. Need only small grid. We're gonna come back and paint all this, so it'll be all right. We need to place the. See if we can. Oh, sorry, we have to do. So the custom turret controller has connection points on both kind of tops and bottom there, but it never wants to actually work for some reason. Always wants to connect to the top bit. There. Camera on. There. And we're going to throw. Can't go there. It's got to go there. I think this is how we normally do it. Right, and then, because if that hinge. Or set some limits on this, but where is our velocity? So it folds all the way down, so that's 90. So this needs to be 0. That's 90. Give it some braking torque. Yeah, we can also give it. No, it wouldn't have shear inertia sensor. Never mind. No, yeah, no, it would. We're on the hinge. So yeah, where's the shear inertia sensor on? So maybe, hopefully, we'll jiggle a little less. That speed is probably fine, right? That's about how fast it'll move. That's cool. Yeah. And all this SW scanner hinge. This would be SW scanner system, and velocity's fine. Else. Shear inertia tensor, just in case. And everything else is all right there. Okay. What is? Field vision's being really weird. SW scanner camera. SW scanner D. SW scanner air control. SW scanner rotor. Rotor lock on. Torque on. And position 0 is where we're at now. That's good. All right. Let's figure this real quick. Say that the rotor is the rotor. Station should be the hinge. Camera is the scanner camera. Okay. Oh. We need an ore detector. That's what this thing is doing. I knew we were missing something. Something didn't seem quite right. We would normally have ore detector. Put it right there. Is that what we want? Do that, everything's gonna fall off. We could literally just set it right to the side, but we want to do it right. So we can rename this stuff. It's not a big deal. If we do this, ore detector, it's there. Can't place the manual on that. That's why we. Let's. That. Ore detector off of that. Yep, that. Do that. And better by doing this. Well, I don't know if it's going to like that. Let's do it anyway. See what it does. See if we can. Doesn't like that. What about have to have something there though? What if we do it this way? Not the antenna. Mobile vision. There we go. Now, can we put that there? Will it blow up when it... Oh. I get really mad about that. Oh, it's fine. All right, good. All right, so let's rename this stuff. This is now SW scanner or detector. This is SW scanner. LCD. The SW scanner controller. And the SW camera. Scanner. There we go. That's better. Now let's figure this. Azimuth rotor is the rotor. Elevation rotor is the hinge. Camera is scanner camera. Everything else is fine. Okay. Actually, we need to probably do it from in here. That'll be better. Scanner CD. Should be able to invert the image. Cannot. Grab an app. We're going to grab the radio spectrometry. We have to look into that. May have to move that because, yeah, it needs to be flipped. That will work. Just do it from here. SW scanner. LCD. Content app. Spectrometry. The background we want clear. And text. I don't remember. Normally we do like a just try like red. Yeah, that should be visible. now we need to paint. And I think we're going to do this this way because we'll kind of paint everything the same color here. It all gets to be dark blue. It's just easy to do it like that than try to get the old paint gun back out. Let's go in. Set that up. So we're also going to build a timer block. Let's grab 2 timer blocks. Block, scanner, boy. Block. Scanner. Good. SW timer. Okay. So for scanner deploy, what we want to happen is let's make sure the rotor rotor lock off. You can move it, and should be able to tell it to go to position. Rotate to angle 0. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Because the step position should be down, and that should already be in this position, but we're just going to make sure. So then we're going to go to the SW hinge, inner hinge. We're going to hinge lock off, and we're going to rotate to angle. Should also be 0. That's probably really fast, but that's okay. We may have to come back and change that. Okay, now the piston. Scanner piston. We will turn it on. And we will extend. Then turn on ore detector. Okay. I think that's what we need for that. And now let's look at scanner stow. Let's turn off the ore detector. Let's piston. Scanner piston. Retract. What's going to be unfortunate. Oh, no. Fine. Let's see. That retracts. We want to hinge. No, piston. Oh, rotor. Ooh. To angle 0. Hinge. We'll rotate to 90. We're going to try this real quick and make sure that it's not like blowing through here. And then let's do wide. Let's go scanner. Deploy. Deploy trigger now. And go. And stow. Okay. First things first. Let's see if we can deploy. Because the rotors and the hinge are already in place. Stow. Oh, that's way too fast. All right. Let's go ahead and fix that because that is not going to fly. So actions. Both of these. So let's say rotate to angle. Actually, I gotta get rid of it if I can. It's going to rotate to 0. Let's set that velocity to like 5. Should be pretty slow. And then same with the hinge. Let's set velocity. Or I'm sorry, set angle 0. Hang on, something. I missed something there. Get to angle. Angle 0. Velocity. Also 5. And let's see what that looks like. So let's deploy. Way too fast. That's okay. Now. Did that wrong because it was supposed to be 90, not. Scanner stow, set up action. Hinge. Take to angle 90. Speed 5. So now let's see what this looks like. Deploy. Still way faster than we want it to be, so let's back in. Scanner. So means this is also probably too fast. Worry about that here in a second. Scanner. Rotate the angle. 90. Let's try 1. Just see how much of a difference that is. Deploy. That's actually better. I would rather it be nice and slow. It doesn't need to be fast by any stretch of the imagination. So let's do step action. So we do this one. Angle 0. I'm gonna let it be faster than the hinge, because I actually do want it to be in place. I don't want the hinge to like eventually hit the walls over there. Deploy. That'd be a similar rotor. Just gonna make sure that it is at 0. Should be, so it should heal. Hinge. To angle. Goes to 0 now. It's 1. Now we're gonna need one more timer block. Timer block. This is going to do is set the hinge lock on. Set the rotor lock on. And piston off. It's going to have a delay of like 30 seconds. And the stove is going to call it start. Okay, so now we're stowed. What we'll do is we'll say activate control. What's moving? Have full control. We can move this thing around, up, down, all around, aim at stuff, zoom in and out, and we can read it. What? Can't I go? I have the rotors maybe wrong. Oh no, I rotor locked the, which does I think mean I have the rotors wrong. So I need to just hinge. It shouldn't have a lower limit. I should be able to take it anywhere. But I think that on the custom hurt controller. I think I'm backwards. Let's make the azimuth the hinge, elevation rotor. See if that feels better. Wonder, can I set that to be what? No. I wonder if that will work. Let's try something. Let's stow. We go. Nope, we're not moving. But we still need to deploy. Okay, so that didn't do what we want. That's right, we can deal with that. What happened? Now we're not moving at all. Oh, I think it did both of those things. All right, let's just not do that. Let's go back. Well, that didn't work right. Oh, not the observation deck. Right, just blew all that up. All right, let's try setting that up again. Hinge. Actually, we should be able to say. Let's go to deploy. Oh, it blew the whole piston head off. All right. Rotor, piston, please. And piston head. Okay. Let's put a block. And core detector. Block right there. Hurt controller. Hurt controller. That off. Camera. Panel. Oh, panel. There. There. Load everything up. Okay. Set all this stuff up again. SW scanner camera. SW Kurt controller. War detector. SW scan. This content. Background is transparent. Let's do more of a reddish color. It's fine. Scanner. Controller. I think this should be the hinge, and this should be the rotor. Hammer should be the, yeah. Huh? It's all fine from there. Now let's come back in. Put in our seat. Set up our timer block. Well, actually, yes, we will have to fix that because that blew up. Actually, the only thing though. Stow. Let's try. Oh. Yeah. Roll. There. Oh. Okay, so let's just try controlling. Oh. I definitely had it backwards. This wasn't wanting to move right before. That is the rotor. I was right the first time. Hinge. So up, down. Right. But we're getting locked, so for some reason we can't turn past a certain point. That shouldn't be the case. We should be able to turn full 360 all the time. don't understand why it's stopping us from doing that. Something in the rotor. Although what's weird is last time we couldn't go to the left. Now we can't go to the right. I've never had this problem before. Let's do this. Ooh. Is there a... Wait, what have I said?
Fuel low.
Shoot.
Fuel critical.
What if I do this? Nope, not the antenna. I can make it spin that way. Oh, because it has an upper limit set to it, that's why. Okay, I need to fix that. I don't think I can do that through build vision. Inner rotor. Must have accidentally... There we go. I probably accidentally somehow set that while we were messing around doing stuff. Okay. So now velocity should be 0. Let's go back in, sit down so we can watch this a little easier. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. If it does, add and who knows. All right. Let's look. Hey, we can look now. We can spin. It's inverted, but whatever. We'll deal with that. The other option to change the inversion would be to build it. Build it, and I'm not going to do that. So, all right, we did the thing. We looked at stuff. Yay! All right, now let's stow it. Need to rotate a little faster. Because we don't want to accidentally hit the ship there. Do up actions. Rotor angle. Angle to 0. A speed of... We had it like 2. Let's just say 5. I think that's set up now. Excuse me. We're going to assume it is. All right. So... One. Exit. Links. All right. Now to base. are we doing with ice? I figured we would shoot through that pretty quick because we have like 6 O2 generators on the ship. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to do before we... Oh, yeah, we need to load the ship. We're going to pull the resources that we need. We're going to pull all the hydrogen essentially off the space. Might go ahead and grab our ice. We can. This way, we'll drill a hole on this side. There. Fuck. Fuck. It's on. Pistons down. Nope, pistons up. First, just go ahead and reverse that one as well. I think that'll still be slow enough. Well, I guess one other thing. Wouldn't need to do this right now, but because we're probably going to set up a base somewhere in space, a laser antenna may not be terrible. So laser antenna has theoretically infinite distance, but it's line of sight. So it actually might be better to wait so we know where basically, because we don't want like our power or solar panel be in the way. So that might actually be better to wait. We know we can have a proper angle on it. How are we doing on the refinery? Ore on base? Nope. We still don't have a lot of gold. That's okay. We're going to let's grab some stuff here. And I think we're going to essentially take 400 gold. Most of our gold. Take most of our silver. Take most of our... let's take most of our magnesium, not all of it. And that's not a lot of magnesium. We're not. Don't worry about grapple. Better to get grapple from any asteroid. we'll take the Prototech stuff with us because we may actually use that in space. Nickel. Again, no, I'll take all of it. 5. A lot. So I'm not trying to completely, just take everything, but I'm also, we want to get some stuff over in space, but I don't want to essentially start from scratch in space. What's going on, Hawk? Yeah, these are the adventures of some dude who fumbles through everything. I want to take some of these. How you doing, man? Hope your day has gone well. Take all those gravity components. We don't need those down here. Definitely take all these thruster components. We don't need those down here at all. They won't work. Not too bad. Today's my Friday. I do a 4-day work week, so always a good day. Still these power kits and med kits. Take some of that ammo. Let's also grab. Grab some of everything. We're basically loading up the ship right now. Just kind of getting some basic supplies to take up to space with us. I think we are just about ready to try to make our way out of atmosphere. Okay. I think we got essentially all the basic supplies. Check on this ice drill. Still going. Good. We want to kind of want to let that get that finished before I leave, because we may or may not be able to turn that off once we make the space. Not that it'll really matter. You can just sit there and run forever. Wouldn't hurt anything, but it pretty much space, or we fall back down to the planet and explode our ship. What am I doing? Wrong screen. Okay, that one's still moving. Not quite all the way. Yes, we're basically Kerbals. Although luckily we don't have to worry about trajectory in this. We just get to go straight up until we're out of gravity. I need to go back and play Kerbals. It's been forever. I crashed so many ships. So many ships. I don't know that I ever even built anything that actually worked like from scratch. There was like something about that game, like you had to get it just right. You had to figure something out that I hadn't figured out yet. I always just tried to throw just more thrust at the problem, and that was not always it. Yeah. If I remember right, I could get to space. I never could land. I think that was what got me. I would get there, and I would start kind of making my orbit, and then like, okay, time to go back to the planet, and that just never worked. Turn the drill off. First that. First that. Off the drill. Off the drills. Lock the rotor. Alright. So we're good with all that stuff. Ships are shut down. Those are good. Solar array will keep doing solar array things. Well, essentially, we'll continue to have power. We need to update our checklist. We already have the ice. Ore. ERB. Enter for milk. Actually, that's not true. We know we didn't go for. We didn't go for milk. We know good and well. The beer run. Nobody drinking milk here. Let's grab our money out of here, though. Space books. Throw that in ATM, so we have access to that later. Deposit 3. Okay. We probably should take with us at least one of each of the plushies too, because you know you gotta have those. And let's take actually lied. Make sure we have at least 2 can of each. Those, just so we have some gun options for the next to no combat that happens in this game. This game does. There will be actually some combat in space. Just because we're going to take over some pirate ships, so we'll have to do a little bit of space fighting, but it really isn't much. And it's not like we can never come back here. It's just we'll have to build us a way back, because I don't want to bring this ship back down. We don't have to. Oh, that's wrong. It's the airlock, as it was intended. We still got our light messed up. So let's oh, no. have to exit several times here. The light should, there we go. Solid light. That's what we want right there. And first things first, let's turn our stockpile all of our hydrogen. So we should right now be stealing all of the hydrogen from the base, put into our hydrogen tanks. Check that. They are full. Good. And base tanks, not bad. You know what? We might also steal a little bit of this ice. So that if we need to. Are not completely out of ice. Alright. So yeah, I think we are ready for space. So we're going to disconnect. Why is our piston not moving? But we have our piston. Got the speed at 0. Okay. Speed should be like, say, 5. Go. Piston's all locked up. Let's all our thrusters are on. Make sure they actually all are on and working. Like it, we got little dots. Alright, so here's the, if we don't fall over right here. Oh. That was anticlimactic because landing gear. Is that not the right button? Switch lock. Okay. Try that again. Please don't. Oh. Well, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all. We shouldn't have fell over like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's go check something. These thrusters are on. Oh, okay. That's not a good sign. Oh no. Let's make sure we don't have overrides are all disabled. Good. Everybody's on. Alright, let's try this again. Do we? Where's our on? Oh no. Oh no. have we done? Are our pistons messing us up? Landing pistons. Over there. We got enough gyro power. Are our gyros doing it to us? Huh? Oh, this is terrible. This is not what this is supposed to do at all. Now we would be in a lot of trouble because now we're gonna be kind of stuck. Ooh. What? We should have had more than enough thrust for this ship. Okay, let's do some. See if the gyros can get us tipped back over here. Nope. Okay. What is forcing us? Oh, like that. We're actively burning fuel. But we cannot lift off. I don't understand. Alright, let's do some. We're gonna do some math here. You're a large grid ship that pays, we'll say, 1,000,000 kilos. Large grid. We should only need 2 large hydrogen thrusters. We have 4. Okay, so what's going on? Alright, let's see if our rotors can, or our gyros can get us fully lined back up here. No, not rotors, gyros. Noise. Okay, now can we? Like something has us locked back down. What the heck? Forward? You know what, I bet I don't know what it is. But it's this. But we built too close to that, and we're somehow like locked to it. All right. Let's go see if we can get in the air, and then we can deal with the airlock. Nope. We're just slowly keeling over. Uh, there it goes. There's more power. It's from tipping. So something, we're like locked to something, but I don't understand. Maybe the fact that we can tip. Now we're rolling backwards. Our nose is lifting. Okay, what if we just gyro? So no. Nope, nope, nope. What the heck? All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna exit and go back in. Something's really messed up there. I've never seen a ship do this. It's like we're locked to something still. Nope. Stop it. Mhm. Because we should be launching ourselves with as much force as we have right now. We've destroyed something. Oh, we've lost both our landing gears. We blew up the landing gears, and yeah. And this doesn't make any sense. This ship should absolutely have been able to fly. There's zero reason. So right now it's sitting on its thrusters. We've processed through a bunch of ice. So we're down to 800,000. Ship. Earth gravity. Air containers. I wonder if those are completely full. Yeah, so at 800,000 kilos, again, we should only need, I mean, two, we can almost get away with one large hydrogen thruster. So we have nearly 4 times the amount of thrust we need right now. It's just not going. What if we, okay, what if I do this? Just override. Not doing anything. Okay. And then let's look at the thrusters. Ups are the large. What if we do this? Let's just pull ship off, ship back on. Out parked. Huh. Are we currently using hydrogen? Faster than we can produce it, I'm guessing. So we're not processing any hydrogen or any ice. What the heck? Others are not on override right now, right? They're not. Okay. Let's go fix these real quick so that I don't. Then we do something. I legit don't know what. Oh. I don't understand what the problem could be. Just take these off. I mean, we're definitely not connected to anything anymore. Pull those off. It would almost act like we were still embedded in the ground, but that, if that were the case, we wouldn't be able to roll. Well, alright, let's try this. Station. ship. Oh. Hmm. Usually, even if you were too heavy, should be able to like push myself forward. Like I can roll myself. And like I can wiggle. So I shouldn't be attached to anything. Okay. I may have to cheat this. May have to cut and paste this ship. Let's see. Let's try this. Let's see if we can get connected back up to the base. At least, so we're not so we're not just burning resources here while we try something. Should still be in line. That should work. Just a little bit if we need to. It's probably close enough. Ah, dang it, it probably isn't going to be. Let's see. We'll make it work. Hopefully we can wiggle enough to connect this. What? Oh, because I stole all of it from. Let's make it. Several hundred hours. Enough that this shouldn't be happening. Like there's still stuff in the game that obviously I haven't done, but I'd have to check for Steam. I'd have to check Steam to see, but it's been a while. I've had it for quite a while. Yeah, it's not happy with whatever is going on here. I don't know that I mean would I be able to get it connected here. Yeah. Yeah, and I never claim to be any good at any game that I play. I'm mediocre. Oh, it was there for a second. There we go. So now I can at least turn my turn all my thrusters off. You know what? I'm a dummy. I know why this isn't working. Can't fly very far if you don't have any hydrogen tanks supplying you fuel. I'm supposed to have this on, then disconnect from the base, then take those off. Now I gotta see what I've damaged. On it. So make sure I haven't damaged this ship. Really careful about those pistons, but make sure these are all good. It's the dumb little things that you do to yourself. So basically what was happening is we have O2H2 generators. They were using all the ice that we had put on the ship and trying to produce hydrogen in real time for the engines. That wasn't enough hydrogen to actually supply us enough thrust. Now, though, like our tanks, full, put a bunch of ice on the ship. We have next to none. That's fine. We'll find ice in space. We're launching. All right. So now, I'm not a dum-dum. Turn all of our thrusters on. I guarantee you now we can fly. Freaking idiot. Wrong buttons. I don't want turning our up thrust off. I don't want to stop us from moving up. Now we're going. And what we were trying to do. Let's piston back in. So now we get to juggle our speed because Space Engineers has a speed limit of 100 meters a second. So as we push against that, we'll just keep burning hydrogen, but that doesn't really help us. So we can't go any faster. So I'll be honest, if you haven't played before, I would jump into the, I think they call it "It Begins Here" scenario. So now I don't remember what it's called, but there's a scenario, and it's kind of like the tutorial scenario. It's actually really good. I've played through it several times just because it's enjoyable. That helps kind of like get a feel for the game and what you do and how things work. Because if you just jump into like blank planet, some stuff just feels really weird and you don't get a good handle on it. And there's a couple couple scenarios, but I like and then there's probably tons from like the community, because there's tons of community built stuff. But I've done all the ones that come with the vanilla install, and I kind of liked, like I said, the getting started. I thought it walked you through stuff pretty well. Because there's depending on which, I guess, DLC you got, there's like a frostbite scenario, It's not bad. It's the most actual like scenario like Venturi map thing. There's definitely some frustrating parts on it that could be explained a lot better. And then with the there's another one that it's really just an exploration map. Wow. We're doing pretty good because we're already at third planetary gravity. Making our way out of there. It helps we don't do something dumb. Now, I don't like that our battery power is showing we have 5 minutes left. There's these maybe. I thought we had those things all charged up. This could be a problem. We'll have to deal with that probably real soon. Nice if our solar panels were working at all, but can't really turn right now. Could antenna. Let's crank this down to like. That'll buy us a little bit of power. There we go. We're literally at like the lowest setting for you know what we could do since we're doing that. Now we can turn these large thrusters off. I bet we don't need those anymore. Small ones will be sufficient at 0.1 G. Yeah. But yeah, I recommend this game. I think it's fun. If you like space stuff, you don't. I started on the planet here. You don't have to do that. You can. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of start the game. Want to just jump in and start exploring it, so you can start on any of the planets, any of the moons. You can start in space with a ship. And then you can kind of go from there. But it's really the thing that can be difficult is there's no objectives beyond what you create for yourself. Sort of. I guess it's not entirely true. So like we're doing exploration. If you can see the this unknown signal in orange, with the latest DLC they added essentially. Oh, there's just some shards there. They added some faction essentially that you can go steal stuff down, Prototech stuff. So like better thrusters, better gyroscopes, better batteries, but you can only get them by liberating them from these other ships or stations. So they kind of added, hey, we're out of gravity. We can kill those. Let's slow down. We officially made it to space. And we have oxygen and we have heat. And we only used 2% of our hydrogen because we probably burned all of our ice most likely at this point. Yeah, that's okay. We have two big hydrogen tanks, so we got a lot of hydrogen. We got a lot of scrap metal. First things first. Got a little bit of power. All right. So now that we're in space, we need to figure out where we're going. But I was saying they've added some stuff, into the game to do, so don't have to kind of completely make up your own missions. Piece of advice I'll give you now, since we're doing it right now, when you're flying in space, never aim directly at the thing you want to go to. It's really hard sometimes to figure out the distance to a place or your speed, and you will slam into asteroids or planets or ships if you aim directly at them, just way too often. So you always want to aim kind of off to the side. Just a good piece of advice. Clear those off. We don't need those right now. Although we may go back and build those landing gear because we may want to lock our ship to something. But we're going to head over to this large asteroid. If it doesn't have anything good, we may look at these smaller ones. And by something good, I mean potential for a small space base. Kind of let us get ready to jump our way to the moon. Where the moon is. That doesn't look like the Earth's moon. I hope we're not on the wrong side of the planet. That would be annoying. Yeah. Although I guess I could have done this. So deploy our scanner. Oh, dang it, our rotors. Never mind, we won't deploy our scanner. The rotor's acting up. That's another one. I've not had issues with rotors being that finicky before, where it doesn't want to let you spin all the way around. It should be unlimited. It must be something with the way, but because I'm setting a value, the timer block, it's alright, well, we'll just this way. Just point at it from right here. Figure out what's on this thing. So what we do is we line up the peaks with the appropriate. Ow! Hit my elbow. With the my head's in the way. This is a bad color, but yeah, we line up the peaks with the little corresponding element lines. So I would say this has cobalt. We have a peak kind of on the far right. Big peak in that third, and a peak right there. So we probably have cobalt. Anything else that it could have? Obviously, it has stone. It's possible it has uranium, but probably not. No, let's take a peek. It's our first asteroid. Now we want to make sure that we use our airlocks properly, because we only have so... Oh no. There we go. We had our helmet open. We're also really far away. Oh, it's all right. Like I said, it's hard sometimes to like get the scale of like how close you are to things, particularly in space. See anything on the little guy? Let's explore the light side first. It'll be a little easier. If we can find this cobalt and or uranium or whatever it could have, then we'll mark the asteroid as having that. If it doesn't have iron, then it's probably not where we want to start building. Need a lot of iron to build, so you kind of want iron and ice. If you can find an iron and ice asteroid, that's a big win. Not seeing... Not seeing any war patches. I have to figure out our odor issue so we can scan more asteroids, because doing it by eye sucks. Hey, Charlie B. Yes, we are in space. Just made it. This is the first asteroid we're checking out to see what resources it has. Doesn't look like it has any iron, which is really what we're looking for. Our radio spectrograph mod says that it probably has cobalt, but I'm not seeing it. It could be under the surface though, and my handheld drill may just not be able to pick it up, so we may have to do something else to find it. But yeah, there's where base used to be. There, but we can turn. Yep, that's where we came from. We had a lot of struggles because I was dumb. I set our fuel tanks to pull in all the fuel from the base and didn't turn them off of doing that, and kept trying to fly with essentially no fuel. Couldn't figure out why the ship was just rolling around and like not doing anything that I wanted to do. So yeah, that was fun. I was a big dum-dum. What? There. So let's try to fix our rotor. Which I think we already did. So we said limited, lower limit. Excuse me, what? Why is that rotor being so weird? Okay, something we'll have to come back to fix that. It's being real goofy. But for now, we'll just leave it deployed. But yeah, so what we can do, we point our detector at an asteroid, and it should essentially tell us what it's made of. That one. On. Okay. That one. Or maybe it's just not going to work and it's going to make a big old liar out of me. I should be able to. Let's point at this cluster down here. Should be able to scan individual ones. Well, that's at least a different signal. So this probably has nickel. Oh, that one. It also has nickel. And that one also probably has nickel. Well, none of that is overly helpful. We want iron. Well, not that guy. Yes, you. There we go. Just being real slow. Ah, nope, that's stone. Look, just looking at the wrong line. I thought we had iron. So that one probably doesn't have anything. It's silicon. Ooh, that's iron though. Okay. Let's head over to that. Let's head over to these guys. And see what we got. We also got to figure out our power issue because we have 2 minutes of battery power. Somehow. I don't understand what's using all of our battery. And we could do this. Gotta catch more light on our solar panels, that would help. guess we could also let's turn the refinery off. It doesn't need to be doing anything right now. And yeah, those don't draw any power when the heck is using so much power? Nothing should be happening right now. We're struggling. Guy's using like a tiny bit. I apparently did. Refrigerator's running or something. Like, I mean, a lot of, yeah. So according to this, we have 0 power. Right. Yeah, these all have 0 power. Okay. Well, let's, I guess, take those to recharge. But now we can't move at all, so we can't do that. And those should have been fully charged from the. Oh. Oh. Alright, let's do this. Make a hydrogen engine. We're gonna have to go out the top doors because we're gonna get like stuck. Well, there's a little bit of oxygen doing this, but no choice. So let's set. Let's take one of these off. Hopefully, we haven't screwed ourselves over here. Oh, power cell. Production. Make 1 power cell. I don't know if we're going to have enough power to make the power cell that we need to make the engine to give us power. Let's turn the ship. Let's turn the ship and make sure we're getting full sun on our panels. Good angle so I can see. Where's the sun at? Oh. We should be getting nearly full power. Okay, there. That's full power from the sun. Still not enough. I'll tell you what, let's turn this off. Gravity. I forgot about the gravity generator being on. That eats up a lot of power. Okay, so we got our battery. Alright. We're gonna be burning through hydrogen. Now we really gotta find ice. Burn through some hydrogen with that. One engine is not a bunch of power, but it should be enough. Keep the lights on. But now moving around the ship's gonna be a little awkward because why did that door? Oh, that door's open. That's not great. Yeah, moving around the ship with zero gravity is kind of awkward. It's gonna cause some really weird stuff to happen. Now both those doors are closed. Good. All right, check our batteries now. All right, they're slowly recharging. All right. But while they do that, let's heal ourselves from where we at the server room. Let's heal ourselves from where we left our helmet open when we went outside. Let's see if we can find some ore here that we can mark. Also, I just don't understand how we didn't have any battery power. Like, we were hooked up to the base forever. These batteries should have been fully charged. So we got nickel, silicon. Should have some iron on here somewhere. Nickel. Nickel. Don't really need a bunch of nickel. More nickel. Yeah, we're trying to find us a good spot to build a base, but ideally we'd want it to be fairly lined up with our planetary base so that it's easier to kind of go back and forth if we need to. Build like a little drop ship that all it does is travel back and forth between the two bases. A little bit of storage so we can kind of get stuff if we needed it. I'm not seeing the iron that is supposed to be here. I'm just seeing more nickel. I think our graphs may have lied to us. Yeah. Or if there is iron here, it must just be a really small cluster of it. Well, shoot. All right, well, back to the ship. Whoa, I almost ran into that. Well, let's go. I think that's the moon. Yeah. We kind of want to head over that towards that, but we're not going to just fly there. It would take probably a while to do that. I believe that's where it came from. Also, keeping orientation in space is difficult. Got awesome. Check you. Like a bunch of nothing. All right, well, let's bring it down a little bit so I can check those ones. Silicon. Also silicon. All right, well, let's head in. See, that's Mars, and its moon. You know what we could do? Art. Could turn some of these on and see. Any of them are remotely close. Close enough to head towards. So that's Mars. Mars isn't too far away, but we don't want to travel 1,900 kilometers at 100 meters a second. That would take a while. Okay. It's another Mars base. We don't have anything listed for the moon. Also, like, I feel like that's not the moon. The moon should look bigger. Makes me think we're on the wrong side of the planet. Which is annoying. What I want to do is keep the sun above us so that we can kind of keep solar panels going. I'm gonna fly over this way. 100 meters per second. I'm gonna just try to scan asteroids on the move. Ooh, that should be ice. Is that ice and iron? The things that they said we wanted. Thing that I'm now pointed at. That's definitely ice. All right. As soon as we pick the plan, we are going to change plan. We're going to go there. Because if this has a decent supply of ice and iron, it would be a really good place to build a base. So it looks like ice. Iron. Look like decent signals for the ice and iron. They don't need to be on the exact same rock, but if they're in the same little cluster, it'll give us a good line on our original base. Get over here a bit closer. Don't want to be in the shadow of this though, because we want the sun. So let's push on through a little bit. We have plenty of sun. Just all the way through. There. Now let's see this. See any discoloration from the sun side? There's ice, I think. Yes, that's not a very big patch of ice. There is ice there. Probably mine that all the way out with not too much difficulty. But there's more ice. Okay. That's all ice. There's iron. Any other iron patches? Those are not in great places to build. Honestly. Because we want to make sure it's in a location where we can get plenty of sunlight, because we really want to do solar power in space. Now, onto my head. Okay, there's a little bit of iron. Aren't great supplies of ice and iron, if I'm being honest. I don't like the. But what we're gonna do is say space, Earth. I think we're gonna move. Well, we could grab a. Now we're not gonna be able to grab enough ice for it to matter. So. Go back on the ship. What's on that asteroid? Scanning. Just stone? A lot of. I have magnesium, maybe? And ice? Actually, uranium would be really nice. If I found some uranium, that'd be cool. That's possible that has uranium. Uranium would give us a lot of power. What about those? Those might be like really close to being planetary gravity. Really hard to read. There's your stone asteroid. Got anything good in it? this way a little bit more. That could have iron on it. See if this has good iron deposits. Turn it off. How are the batteries doing? You don't need tons of battery power. That was just a stone one. Just stone. That's probably ice. Now, if this is a decent iron asteroid and that's a decent stone, or decent iron, decent ice, they're pretty close. It wouldn't be bad to set up and kind of bounce between the two of them. The other thing we're doing is we're just kind of flying around, is also hoping to catch wind of a pirate ship or a actual pirate base would be better. Though we have 0 firepower on the ship, so that could be troublesome. Taking on a ship by hand is very doable for a decent player, which is why I struggle to do it. Go down. Closer. Closer now. Check this asteroid out. So far we're doing good with our airlock protocols. It's probably going to be on the dark side just because that's harder to see. Makes sense. And dark and light side in this game is weird because like the sun rotates around the player, if I remember right. It is a player centric universe. It can be a little weird sometimes, predicting where the sun will be. Seeing the iron that this was supposed to have. Hmm. Hmm. Where has the iron gone? Theoretically, we could just mine it. Oh no. Oh, there's a little bit. Can't be the only. If that's the only iron, that's frustrating. Like, I don't need a massive iron deposit, but a little bit more. Usually I like to build a base that, much like our one on Earth, has its own kind of drill to collect, whatever that's connected to the base, so we can get iron or ice or something at all times. Um, I say that was the ice one. Let's not be silly here. Hang on. Let's check it and then fly over. Let's mark this as iron. There it is. Yeah. Let's jump in the ship. Make sure that is an ice one. Then we'll fly over to it. Yeah, it'd be really cool to find one of the ones that's like an entire asteroid of ice. So I think this one was the ice one. That's nickel. If I didn't fly over there, that'd been annoying. Is that the ice one? Where the heck did I see an ice asteroid? I know I saw one that I thought was definitely ice. That could have silver on it. Hmm. Where did I think the ice asteroid was? That? Oops, that was not the button. That's probably stone. Right? That's stone. But what I might do, I might just kind of hunt for a good base off stream. Because this gets real tedious and pretty boring. Dude. No longer a fall risk. You got your safety belt on. Were you watching from a ladder before? Oh, I did not. Oh, yeah. Was it when I was spinning around looking through the asteroids? That can get very disorienting. I'm getting frustrated because I'm not finding. Thought I saw a nice asteroid, now I can't find it again. So we're gonna move. Yeah, certain aspects of this game can get very disorienting. Especially in space. That's probably the one that has ice on it. Let's go there. That's also valid. So this doesn't do it to me as bad, but I remember certain games when I was a kid, like I had Medal of Honor, first-person shooter, World War II, and I couldn't play it on an empty stomach. It would give me motion sickness. I could only play like after dinner, and it was fine. But if I had an empty stomach, I could not play it. It would make me so motion sick. And I don't know what it was like about the game that did it. This doesn't do it to me, but there are times where I have to kind of just like, it doesn't make me motion sick, but I'll stop. Like, okay, let's not, just whip around and do this crazy stuff for a second. What the heck's that static grid? Blue generally means it's ours. That also makes a lot of difference too. Like if you're the one controlling it, like you can kind of, oh shoot, we're in gravity. We need to not be in gravity. No planetary gravity, please. Why are we still going towards the planet? All right, that asteroid is apparently in planet gravity. And whatever that static grid 2924 is, I don't understand what that could be. Mom had issues with that. She couldn't, like, she struggled to ride in cars. Like, she could not sit in the back seat. That was just like not an option. She was apparently like that as a kid as well. It just wasn't. It was never a good idea to put her in the back seat of a car. Apparently. That has iron. Ooh, that might have platinum. We can go over there and see. We don't really want to build a base around platinum, but we can get some platinum. That would be awesome. I never had issues riding the back seat of a car, but I can't read in the back seat of a car. That's real bad. Or as a kid, like trying to play Game Boy or something in the back of the car. That's not good. I got real motion sick on the back of a jet ski one time. That was not fun. There was, I always heard saying that, nobody sat on a jet ski. I was definitely that. Oh yeah, I still have my original Game Boy. Actually have two of them. I have my original one, the old school gray one, and then when I worked at the game store, I picked up one that was a clear case. See all the circuitry and stuff. I'm a little annoyed I don't still have my original Nintendo. I'd sold it to a cousin of mine, I think for her kid or something. No clue what happened to it. There's silver. I remember I sold it to them several years later. I asked, hey, if you still had it, I'll buy it back from you. She didn't even remember buying it from me, so it probably got traded for drugs or something. Oh, in my family. I have a Nintendo here, just not my original one. Saw some silver. we see platinum, we may hand mine a load of that because platinum's hard to come by. And it's very expensive. But you have to have it to build ion thrusters, which is really what we want most of our small ships probably running on. I know I had like all kinds of accessories. Well, I should say all kinds of accessories, but I had the light gun for duck hunt, and I had the pressure pad for track and field. I had like 30 games. It was a decent collection. And I have no idea what I sold it for at the time, 'cause it's been, 30 years ago. But I'm sure it wasn't. I didn't make any money off of it. Where is platinum? I was pretty sure I saw on the scan. Might need to go back, rescan, make sure I'm even looking at the right asteroid for platinum. Could be one of these smaller ones. That's the silver one. I guess it could also be on here with the silver one, but probably not. Here would be go guys. I wish the hand drill had a better ore detector on it. Right, where's the ship? Where'd the ship go? Ship's on the other side. Yeah, I know. I want to say that's when I learned, but that's not true. But yeah, I have since learned that I don't I don't really like getting rid of my stuff. I shouldn't keep all the junk that I keep, but at the same time, when I do get rid of it, it's never worth it. I should only get rid of stuff that I truly don't want. Never get rid of stuff to get something else. Just silver. Oh, it really looks like there should have been some platinum around here. On the ship. Ship go. Ship. It also might have been the lesson that I maybe should have learned was just don't do stuff for family. That would have also been the proper lesson. Alright, let's spin. Oh. Which one of you had the platinum? Not this one. That one had silver. Yeah, cousins can sometimes be a little wild. Just not really people to you want to be around. Alright, so this big one has platinum on it somewhere. I really want to find the platinum. This is taking a while and kind of boring, but is no, platinum is very, very valuable resource. But yeah, I know some people are very close to their cousins. I'm not. That wasn't a. I guess I didn't really grow up around them a whole lot. I kind of grew up out in the middle of nowhere, but a lot of people hang out with their cousins. They kind of, yeah, real close with them, but it's just not. It's never my experience. Come on. It'll be like buried in here or something. I'm really sure it's what it's saying. There is platinum here. I guess if I don't see, I'm just going to mark it. Maybe we can come back to it with a ship that maybe it's no. Maybe there's just no surface platinum. It's all. Yeah, like this is. Uh, Staring at asteroid texture is not overly exciting. All right, well, we're just going to mark this as a platinum asteroid. Platinum. Let's get back on. Get back on the whale. Move along. No. Oh, actually, that was okay. So we exit there. That was actually wasn't the right way. We should use the button. That was all right. We didn't vent any oxygen, so it's okay. It's also possible to there'll be like stations and stuff out here, but like we're not having a lot of luck finding things in space today. Silicon. Nickel. Silicon. Cobalt. Also got to make sure we don't find ourselves in planetary gravity again. Because that's not fun. Could be iron in that little guy. What's it? Yeah, cool. I gotta jump you there for a second because more of the asteroid popped in. Thought we were like super close to it. Oh no. We're gonna crash. We are. That means we're. Well, when we get the horizon marker, that means we're in planetary gravity. We are really close to planetary gravity. Not want to do that. Like, I think that's the moon. But I'm honestly not sure. Turn. So I can see that little guy. Yeah, I'm just not finding a good, like, base asteroid. Very frustrating. I might call it tonight, stream wise, and see if I can't find one off stream. I can't imagine it's super fun watching. Like that says it has iron, but it's a pretty small asteroid. But I can't imagine it's real fun watching me flail around, fly around an asteroid looking for ore deposits. We'll see what this asteroid has, and then that'll probably be our. That's probably what we're going to call it for the night, I think. I also thought that was a smaller, closer asteroid than it apparently is. Taking us a minute to get there. Speed up a little bit. Apparently it was a good idea to put 2 large hydrogen tanks on this ship. We burnt about 15% of our fuel, which is not bad. But could have been not great. Just 1 tank. Slow down. Get a little closer. Last one. Hopefully there's a nice big iron deposit that we see very clearly. That was real dangerous. Would have killed us if we would have slammed into that at full speed. That's actually a decent order deposit. That's actually not bad. It's on the surface, on close to the top. That might not be a terrible spot. Tell you what, let's mark that. We'll have to be careful of those stray. Oh, we already lost the deposit. Where did he go? There it was. There it was. There it was. That's all right. Let's call it there. Well, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Hawk, Brother B. Appreciate you guys chatting. Hopefully, yeah, we had a good time. Oh, that is a good one, and that probably will be stuck in my head now. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, we'll do it again next time. I may kind of. I'm generally enjoying it. There's still some frustrating things in game every now and then, but that's going to happen no matter what. But yeah, I think I'm generally enjoying it. Yeah, it's something I tend to look forward to it. Or it's at least in my head of like, okay, I want to do this, want to do that, I want to play this. So, yeah, it's like adding to the game experience for me. But yeah, so appreciate. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. Yeah, appreciate you guys swinging by and hanging out. We'll catch you all next time. Later.